Basses, feel free to come this way. Altos, feel free to come this way. I'm kind of a tenor. All right. Hi, Dallas. Welcome back.
Thanks.
How's your one act?
You're going well. Opening night was last night.
Oh, wow. You've been busy.
I have.
Can we have the last measure, page 5?
Yeah.
I am the gentle. And so what we want to do is we want to be able to find. Oh, thank you. We should have moved that before class.
I thought you had to do
My garage door broke this morning.
Oh, what?
So I couldn't leave until I could make sure that he could get a car out of the garage.
Isn't there like a manual option to it so you can like turn off
It
the
wasn't
electric?
that kind of breaking. It was all that came apart. So that.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds like me.
That's
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a thing you can.
The door, like itself, fell apart.
no more doors.
No, it wasn't a spring because then I would have been out of luck. Actually, you can do the spring. Here we go. Anyway, fast garage repair in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Last measure 5. Yeah, one more time. Everybody look at me. And 1, 2, and what a difference and I mean, it's not a little bit, it's not like this much. It's, you make it really clear that the phrase is gentle. The phrase is not gentle. Gentle. Okay? Right there. I am the Yeah, so next thing is we know that we crescendo the dissonance and we decrescendo the concept, the resolution, right? And we even do that if we're on a part that's dissonant. That we all do that together, right? So when you get on that, it's fine if you don't conduct through that measure. I like that. But there needs to be some sense of crescendo and decrescendo. Okay? One more time, last measure 5. I am the gentle, Here comes. Yeah, so let me, and so this is, this is just the turn the hand over gesture, probably. So just play that measure for me on rain. I'm just doing my left hand, and you go, and 1, 2. Yeah, so all you have to do is go up, and then turn it over like you're turning a knob, but you don't want to look like you're turning a knob. You just want to rotate your hand over the softball there. Okay. What's Bryson doing over there? Was he practicing?
I was going like this to him, and then he started going.
Oh,
It's funnier if you
did you look like you're giving him the princess wave?
I don't know.
Same spot.
But like this.
It's like a single.
Like to call it the yeah, it was like yeah, with the head. How do you do that?
All right, here we go. Let's make try.
Sorry.
I am the gentle. Yeah, oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So now use your right hand, and you don't have to conduct through it, but don't drop the right hand. So maybe just kind of go, just show a little bit of motion through there, right? Because what happens is if you drop your right hand, is we go, then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? It sends the message of that no longer is happening, right? And of course it is. But did you see how effective that was in showing that little crescendo, gentle decrescendo? If we do things like this, then people will go re, which is it's not musical, right? It's affected, it's too much. Last time. I am Keep going. Yeah, so we need to conduct that hush so the altos can feel their eighth note, right? So, and when you wake up in the morning, hush, hush. So that affects that move into that. And if we just go, it's hard for them to feel that, but all you have to do is, and they'll feel that release a little bit quicker, right? And so people really pay attention to us, the conductor. And so if we show a message that doesn't reinforce what they're going to do, a lot of them will still do it because they're good, right? They want it, they can read music and so forth. But you will never have conviction on these lines until you confirm what they know is true. Can we start that? And when you wake up in the morning. Isn't that interesting? He writes that 4-bar phrase with a rest on beat 1, and then we go into a series of, not 4 bars, 3 beats, and then we go, so really that first measure kind of is in 3, don't you agree?
Yeah.
With a break. I mean, so it's in and when you wake in love. So, but whatever, you know, composers, I'm not convinced composers always know what they're doing.
Do you
I mean,
think-
they're writing what they hear, but translating that into notation.
But do you think he's trying to, or
You wanted to pause.
she is, yeah, like
She
a
wanted to
more
pause.
pronounced pause
Yeah.
at that one, yeah.
And so it asks yourself, what is meter, right? Well, in this piece is meter 1, 2, 3, 4, no. So meter is groupings of beats into some sort of logical combination. So that's probably a good decision. You know, she wanted to pause and she wanted 3 more beats.
And voice downbeat.
Yeah. Yeah, but definitely the first beat is not.
Right.
And when, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, when I'm out there working with choirs, you'll see a conductor do that, and you know, ring, and I'm like, ah! It's like they saw a phrase and they wanted to step on it, you know, and you know, quit killing music, people, and that just shows, and really, you know, the entire spring term has been about me convincing you to kill meter, right? And meter is so believed in by musicians, that conductors, that they're always teaching meter, and not phrase. And that's why, you know, we hear choirs sound the way they do. And then when you go to National ACDA, nobody conducts meter at National ACDA, right? Everyone there is exemplary. Well, they conduct meter when it should be. They're doing a classical piece. I mean, look, meter existed for about a 50-year period. You know, between around 1775 to around 1820. And then in the 19th century, they were destroying meter. And before that, there wasn't meter, but there was beat with the Baroque period. But it wasn't meter like Mozart. And then from really 1820, 1830 on, it's all been about kill the meter. But yet people are up there going 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So no meter, not in this piece. This piece needs phrase, it needs text, it needs accent. Here we go. And when you wake. And when you wake in the morning. Where does the SH go?
On 3.
Right, so that's why you can't give a big rebound to 1, or people will put the SH on 2. So so everybody sing Morning Hush. And it's really hard. And now you knew it was on beat 3, right? But by going like this, all I was doing was saying, put a big SH on 2. So all I have to do is de-emphasize beat 2, I mean the rebound on 1, and then I can keep you from doing it. Here we go, morning, and right? And so, sure, you can't teach everything just by your conducting. I mean, sometimes you have to teach, right? But so many problems can be solved by not teaching them to do the wrong thing with your gesture. Does that make sense? Here we go. Bum, 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 bum. And when you. And when you wake in the morning hush. Good. I am the sweet uplifting 2, 3. I always want a super creepy interpretation of this song. You're at the grave weeping, and then the guy drugs behind the tree. I am not there. I did not die. So anyway, I think they need a more spiritual interpretation.
Yeah.
But I prefer the.
It's not clear.
Yeah. I'm not dead yet. What's up, Dallas? All right, Kelsey. What are you doing over there?
That's way too cute.
I like the orange on there, but the green makes me nervous.
It's like yellow. It's like
I like
it's like a forest. It has a fruit pun on it, so.
it.
It'll make Natalie also really easy to find.
Wait, is that for now? Let me see.
Is it her birthday?
I'll show you later. No.
You know they have those backpack leashes you can put on children.
I do not believe in those at all.
I think those are so messed up.
Did you put David on leashes when he was little?
No, only Rachel needed.
We did. We never put David on a leash, but we did put Rachel on a leash in Europe. Because because you're looking around, you're grabbing your bag, you turn around, and she's gone. She just goes. She was running by 9 months, and
That's so cute.
her face. She was covered with like bruises and cuts and things. And we bring her to the doctor, and they would like well, that's interesting. Because they would think we were abusing her.
Yeah.
Services, anyone?
And so we'd say, well, she's walking, and she was super tiny, and she looked like she was about 7 months, and so we're at the doctor, and her face was covered with bruises and stuff. They were trying to inquire whether or not we abused our children. So I just put her on the floor, and she stood up, ran around in 3 circles, and did a header into the wall.
Where's Rachel?
And we both went.
Rachel's Cleo. No, we both.
The doctor says, well, have you removed all furniture in the house? We said, oh yeah, we don't have any furniture.
Oh my god, that's so
Yeah.
funny.
And we fill the line the wall.
When David fell down, he would fall down backwards. He was a nice, safe child. But Rachel always went head first into everything. She walked like this. And she kept going until she hit something.
That's so cute.
She's a mini me. Danica's convinced that she's a mini me.
I think that they
Did you do that well? Were you sort of the
She
Comic
still
Con
does
child?
that.
Okay, here we go, Zion's Wall. So yeah, we leased Rachel at the airport because we couldn't keep track.
Ask her about that next
She doesn't remember.
I wonder why.
Obviously.
Oh,
All right. So let's do a couple things. Let's start right at the beginning.
Okay.
What?
Hello.
What's wrong, Angela?
You're singing at this hour?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Angela, I put my conducting class at 8 o'clock in the morning on purpose because if they can't come to this class, then they do not have a future in music education. All right, so I want you to use less of this and more of this. Okay, right at the beginning, and let's just see. Let's experiment with this, okay?
All right.
So let's not do the whole introduction. Although that little blues lick you did, I like it. Yes. Only Bryson could make a mistake and make it better.
So, not the entire interview?
Well,
Just like,
just
Just the
how about a full bar and a half there?
Okay.
Yeah, one more time. This way everybody knows where you're at.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and do it again. Now play that with here.
Okay. I'm gonna do this. I'm just staying right there.
Okay, go back and do the other way.
Different sound.
Listen for tone quality.
Yeah.
Lower. That was good. All right, so the easiest way for us to get tone quality differences is to change that location. Now, I think this song needs that kind of farm sort of working American, thing that Copeland exemplified so much, right? I mean, it really is such great Americana. And I think it's a great moment for this sound. And sometimes when we go, come fathers, just that little more visceral sort of fullness. And of course, people won't always just give you the sound you want just because you know what I'm saying. But when you conduct it, that gives you a chance to stop and say, no, give me a really full aggressive sound right there. And now you're giving them an instruction that matches what your gesture is. And then the best singers in the room will go, oh yeah, that's exactly the way she was conducting. You know what I mean? As opposed to the people who conduct it one way, say to do it different, and your best singers, that causes, it's a cognitive dissonance, and people don't like that. They want to see that agreement between the conducting and so forth. Okay, so think about using more, lower. Yeah, dig deep. Don't be afraid to. 2, 3. So let's go to the subito, or subito, I think is as it is actually pronounced. My teacher taught me to say it wrong, and now I teach you to say it wrong. And if all goes well, you will teach your students to say it wrong. Why don't we maybe do the pick up to 13? Is that a good place?
Yeah.
Not bad. You got a better response from them than I think you deserve. They also knew what we were working on, right? Okay, so we need to see more subito difference in your conducting. So the easiest way to do that is you're conducting low to, right? And so you go from here to here, all right? It should be a surprise. I mean, that's what's fun about the subito thing, right? Is that it's like, oh, now it's on. Yeah, here we go. Good. Yeah. Now, can you do that crescendo without bobbing your hand?
Yeah.
Right? So can you go so that you have left hand or non-dominant hand independence?
Yeah.
You should all, if you care about this, you should be all walking around campus practicing moving your right hand, or your left hand if you're connecting the hat, and moving your left hand, your non-dominant hand, independently, so that you don't have to, you know what I mean? So that you have that ability to give a cue, and so that the left hand can do 5 or 6 things without going, you know what I mean? Because once you move the left hand, it now joins the right hand in mirroring, even if it's bad mirroring. Like even if it's just a little bit, you're mirroring. It's just not very good mirroring. It has to be separate, or it doesn't have a separate message that people can see. What? So if I go like this is a real message. But if I go like this, suddenly it becomes more of what the right hand is doing than a separate thing. Does that make sense? This is easy to practice, you know. Friday night, nothing to do in your life. Nobody wants to hang out with you.
Except the quiet concert.
And that's when you practice left hand independence. Okay, do it again. By the way, here's some advice on how you practice that. First of all, the way to do it is to worry about the left hand more than the right hand, right? So you think about the left hand. That's right. And the right hand then will maybe lose a little of its clarity. But that's okay. I mean, you're thinking about this hand instead of that hand. So maybe that's not perfect anymore. But this is your dominant message at that point, right? So it's okay if the right hand is not as clean and precise. So what do you do after you turn it over with your left hand? So what you did is you turned it over. It was kind of good. And you're like, I got nothing. And so it has to turn into something. So when you do this, the easiest thing to have it turn into something is a mirror. So you're like, dun 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 dee dun dun dee dun dee, right? So it just joins in with the right hand, which is super easy, right?
Yeah.
Because we're all really pretty good at mirroring. Moving the hands at the same time in the same way.
Yeah.
That doesn't even require practice. All right, do it again. There you go. That was good. You turn it over, you kind of want, and you put it away. You're like, no. I mean, then you use it, And so anyway, the job numbers for May, for May were released this morning. And so one of the things that's always interesting, if you're into this sort of economic data, is they then changed last month's numbers and the months before it as well. And so what happens this month actually affects what they found out happened last month. And so next month when they release the job numbers, then they will change this numbers. They might go up, they might go down. And so what you do after that informs what we saw before. You understand? It's like the follow through. So you turn it over, and then they need for you to continue, or what you've done before is not able to have meaning. Okay? Because you're doing a whole phrase. One more time. You see, these gestures are absolutely important. You cannot teach your way into this. Jeremy's not here. And who's number 4? Donnie. Oh, Donnie boy.
Which one are you, Ursula?
I wish. No.
In my life now, I've just started trying to say jokes that will make Danica Grimace. That's now become an obsession with me.
not different.
If I can get that face, then I know that I'm doing something right.
I'm better at the grimace than his only part, so I just stick with the grimace.
Just that. It's not so different than David's, but his is
His is more upper lip.
I remember.
Oh.
I might be enough my hair.
He doesn't point the head thing.
Rachel's this.
Well, she's 15, so.
Yeah, that's right. We forgive her for that. Okay, let's do it.
All right, let's have Stan. So, contrary to maybe Z's creepy version of this, I wanted to say last week, this is the way I saw this piece is like, funeral, loved one is kind of telling you, I mean, you're kind of telling it from a first person, like you're saying it, but it's like you're saying, like he's saying that he's still with you in spirit. So at the funeral, you're kind of hearing maybe the voice, like, I'm still with you in spirit, I haven't left you, kind of.
Your interpretation is correct. I still like that image of the guy jumping out behind the tree while you're at their grave, though.
Cut that out of your mind. So, funeral, loved one, still with you in
Yes.
spirit.
You're on the right track.
Yeah. So if you have a loved one, think about that loved one, and it still should be with you, hopefully in spirit. All right. To measure 8. Just wanted to kind of get to a big blossoming moment a little faster and to kind of see what's going on here. I'm 1,000 winds, that kind of the rushing winds that kind of to
Are
this
you really
big
breathing
point.
after glint?
Yes.
Okay.
Ready? As you're ready.
I don't know that I would do that, but who cares? I think it's an interesting idea, and I like interesting ideas. I prefer that over just the same thing over. So two things. Number one is I think that you could slow down on blow a little bit, and I think you'd get more that you wanted if you gave us more time. Okay? So I am 1,000 winds that blow. And I think you'll get more that you want if it doesn't feel so metrical in that. If you pull on it. Does that make sense? So I'm saying slow it down.
I don't think I want to, but I'll do it.
Okay, let's try it. See what you think. Can you do it?
I'll do it because I think if I did my idea probably better, I could probably get it. But
I actually think this is connected to you wanting to take a break between snow and between glint and on snow. In terms of it, you need for it not to be so metrical if you're going to take that, I think, really interesting break there in terms of the overall phrase. Try it.
let me try it two.
Mhm.
I'll do it right, and then I'll do it out. 2, 3. All right. Do it again.
I think either way is fine. I'd slow it down, but if you don't want to slow it down, I don't care. So let me help you with glint. Okay. So I think the key to making that work is not to accent on and not to accent the end of glint. Okay. So so glint on. So I think if you put it on the top of the beat, glint on snow, then I think it would have this feel over, which I'm thinking what you want.
Yeah.
Okay? And so remember, to give a consonant, we don't have to go like this. It can be this. A lot of times those are the consonants we want. Not, but glint. It's a little harder, and it takes some practice. Can you start right on glint?
Yep.
That's lovely. If you freeze a little on glint, we'll see where it's at a little bit, and everybody just a little, right? When you're always going up, then you can't show where it is. You know what I'm saying? Just freeze. And you get a real different character quality. T becomes as opposed
Yeah,
to.
because it's always hard to give all the consonants.
There will always be some person, especially if it's like a community choir or a church choir, that will be, "Can you give us a clear cutoff on glint?" And I go, "No." Right?
Yeah.
Watch me.
Could I do the and when you wake later so I can work on the hush one?
Yes, but I want you to go to the beginning.
Okay.
conduct do like a downbeat?
You got boxes.
Where we went like this. We went do not stand. So that wasn't very good either. Try this and do not stand. What if we went do not stand as opposed to do not stand? Just kind of back up a little, come forward a little bit so Phil can get those boxes around.
Sorry.
You're fine. It's okay.
You're good.
We use our classrooms as storage rooms. That's the way it works.
Walk on the fence.
Someday this won't be true. Of course, you'll all be gone, but
Well, we'll still.
you can come back and visit.
Nope.
You understand?
You don't mind. Oh.
Do not stand at, or maybe even do not stand at my grave. Maybe the downbeat doesn't happen till grave. Do not stand at my grave. Destroy the meter. You can't destroy the meter too much at this point in your life. Okay? Do not stand at my grave. Now, when I say destroy the meter, that doesn't mean you can't conduct the beat.
Okay.
It just means using the beat in a way that is not this. Do not stand at my grave. Do not stand at my grave. Yeah. See what I'm talking about? And so all of us need to think more about this. I mean, how far can you carry this? It's shocking how far we can carry it. This should be your goal in any kind of piece like this. Now, the Zion's Walls is more metrical, right? I mean, it's a metrical piece. So let's go to that spot you wanted to go for the last couple of minutes. Where was that?
Hush for
I thought that went pretty well, didn't you?
bottom of 6. And when you wake in the morning, hush. Yeah. Well, we'll practice the hush part.
And this is the same thing as the beginning, right? And when you wake. What's that?
Get out, Terrence.
Is that Terrence?
Yeah, he was like.
Awkward. He forgot that we met at this time. Well, he doesn't probably remember that we were on Friday this time.
Oh, it's possible.
That's his excuse.
More that it exists.
It's the same as the beginning, right?
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
step 2.
When you wake in the morning's hush, I am the sweet uplifting hush.
Yeah, I was just mostly focusing on the part where the hush.
Yeah, I thought it was, frankly, quite brilliant the first time you did it. I felt like we all did exactly what you wanted. We had no other choice. We wouldn't have known what else to do. It was that clear.
Was it where I was maybe the finger kind of hush or?
You were worried about the sound? So
Did I
think,
give the
okay, so think about that sound. You don't want like this. So go sh and sh. That's too right.
Yeah.
So all you want is a. Don't release because that makes it a different consonant. And of course we don't go to this. I mean that's you're right. So right. Okay. Yeah. Happy Friday. Go get them, people.
That's how I
Live
feel.
life to
Friday,
the
that's
fullest.
how I feel.
Take no prisoners.
1, 2, 3.
Be nice to children and orphans.
What are some of the most influential pieces that Angela had to listen to? Lone Dog. Oh,
Low to
Long dog.
Oh,
What?
oh, we're doing that right now.
You guys want to leave me your music?
I know.